Right guys, this is going to be a video dedicated to the Corrupted and how to solo speedrun farm that Nightfall. This is a video aimed at getting clears. You know, you could probably get 5 to 6 clears per hour on this strat solo as well. Of course, it is always quicker in a team, but some people just don't like playing in teams. There's a lot of solo players in the game, so this is dedicated to those people. So for those that just want to see the run, then skip to time on the screen. For the rest of you, I give you the additional information. So first of all, the card setup. You're going to want to run a 0 handicap, solo Singe, Heavyweight and Momntum. You must have Momntum on. I'm aware that a lot of people don't like playing with Momntum. If you want to start speedrunning stuff, you need to get used to Momntum. It might, if you've never played with it, it might take you a day or two to get used to it. But it's something that you're going to have to start playing with if you want to start speedrunning stuff. Not only that, there's the After the Nightfall emblem that some people are, you know, going for. Momentum's going to help you out with all your times for that. Momentum's a big factor. Try to get used to the playstyle of Momntum, very important. As for our subclass, we're using Dawnblade bottom tree. You could have used top tree, it doesn't really matter. It'll come apparent why I've got Dawnblade on. We have Solar Grenade on, and Power and Rift, which is really important for the boss specifically. As for our weapons, we have Mountaintop on, a Kelos shotgun and 1k voices. Now, for those that don't have 1k voices, you can do a run similar to this with Sleeper Simulant. I believe you can still solo one phase this boss, especially if you've got enough Transcendent Blessings on and enough Rivens Curse and stuff. You'll still be able to one phase the boss with Sleeper, I believe. So that's going to be a good alternative. It might be just as good. I haven't used Sleeper in ages, I don't know how it feels, but I'm aware as long as you're still getting crits, it still does a lot of damage. Okay, but I was using 1k just for the easiness, and not only that, I wanted to get as quick time as I could. We had this on just in case, you know, we need to take any science out quickly and whatnot. Mountaintop for lightweight, and that it one-shots orange bars. Mountaintop isn't really required in this run at all. Okay, it's just for that extra additional seconds because I can take enemies from a range. But for those who haven't got Mountaintop, it's not going to affect you. Just put on a good shotgun. That's going to do you well. Okay, so that doesn't really factor into it either too much. As for the armor, you do need to optimize. If you are going to run Sleeper Simulant, make sure you have Linear Fusion Rifle Reserve perks on and Linear Fusion Rifle Scavenger perks on. Okay, if you're using 1k like me, then it's going to be Fusion Rifle. So I had a Fusion Rifle Reserve perk on my helmet, and on my class armor I had a Fusion Rifle Scavenger perk. That's important for 1k because that doubles your ammo output. You're going from 1 shot per brick to 2. It's a big deal in a run like this. We did have taken Armaments on, and if people are going to say, well, a lot of solo players don't have this, there's no excuse for that. It's been out since Forsaken that you can get these taken Armaments solo. We can go into Last Wish and get your chests on each character solo. You can go in there. So there's a lot of solo players should have their taken Armaments even if they don't do Last Wish. But taken Armaments makes this run, it makes it even more reliable since you can get your heavy back off Solar Grenade kills. Hence why we have Sunbracers on. So when we get a melee kill, turns you into a D1 Warlock, a Sun Singer. So effectively for a couple of seconds after a melee kill you can spam your nade like crazy. Really good for killing out Scions. If you don't kill Scions quickly enough, they will get out of control and you may die because of them. So Sunbracers is good for that. There's other ways that you can do this. This is not the go-to, it might not be, but this is just how I like doing it since it plays into the fact of getting heavy back reliably. Alternatively, what you could do is you could take this off and you could put on transversive steps so you get automatic reloads while you're running. Only thing with that is you'd have to put on a good Firefly energy hand cannon, which you know you'll be able to do it that way as well. That's another way of doing it. So that's other ways. Effectively what you're going to be farming for is the Horror's Least. So it's a rapid fire frame pulse rifle, 540 RPM. The curated role on this, I believe, is Zen Moment Outlaw. I don't know what the absolute god roll is, what you would get, but I do realise it wrecks in PvP. I'm not a PvP expert, but this video is aimed at those who maybe want to farm it to get a god roll on it so that they can have fun with it in PvP, or just for completionists who maybe even haven't got the gun because it's a rare gun for some reason. A lot of people don't have it. So that's what you'll be farming for. It's basically Grasp of Malak from D1 for players who are aware that is, and that's basically what that is. Okay, that's the setup and everything. Done with the run. So straight away we're going to quick summon our Sparrow. We'll Sparrow halfway, just before the Scorn. And when we get to around about here, I'll use 1k shot on the big guy and then run past. If you run Sleeper Simulant, it's better to take him from a range. With 1k you can't do that from the back. As soon as you spawn in, you can basically spawn kill him with Sleeper. With 1k you can't, you've got to get a little closer. Now you can Sparrow down here. The best way is to kind of slide down this little hill so your Sparrow doesn't flip like so, which can be annoying. But you can, like I say, Sparrow through here. I used a nade there on the phalanxes just to get a little bit more ammo, as I didn't start with full ammo in the run. Not that it matters too much. So this is probably going to be the hardest part, I believe, of the run, but say the Sunbracers will help out. I shotgun 2 of the Scions. I saved the Scion up for the melee kill, but then farm as many nades as I could. And that will then kill the secondary spawn of the Scions. Now at this point we're just running around, keeping our health, throwing the balls as much as we can. 2 balls will take a shield down on all these ads. A good tool to use is Phoenix Dive as well. So as soon as you throw a ball, if you are close to them and they do bash you, you can use Phoenix Dive to stop them from knocking you off your map, and also for your health regen like that. Then again, we're just working on the last shield, and then we can take him out. Of course, we've got max heavy from earlier. We can use as many shots as we really want to. It's important that you come for the next spawn next to the Scions. If you're out of position, the Scions are going to multiply and it's going to make the run a lot more difficult for you. So same again with that. I got my melee and then spammed as many nades as I could. Now you're just kind of playing ring around the rosy with these mages. Same again with these. 2 shots to take these shields down. If you can get them together, you can do damage to both shields, which can be nice. But that's an RNG thing, depending on whether they group up. You can influence it a little bit by your positioning, but generally not always the case. So now we're going to pick up an orb, and then we're going to do some orb skating. So we're going to orb skate past all these ads. Going to kill these. Now on console, it's less reliable to get past this bit. So the way to get past this bit without killing anything, jump on that rock and jump right across. Jump onto that rock and right across. Now I have 5 mobility, and I think a higher mobility does help you out a little bit. Now we drop out the orb, we do 2 shots in the ogre, get a reload, and then we're going to pick up the orb again. It's important that you have the orb picked up while castaway is happening, so that when you get teleported, the orb's still with you. If you don't pick up the orb, if you let the orb drop before you teleported, then it'll be no good. Same again with these ogres, they're a 2-shot each of them. Try to stay on the side that I was, that's probably the most reliable. Now we can just orb skate to the boss. I used 1 nade there as well to replenish my heavy ammo, and then we can just orb skate. The orb will disappear after so long. I don't think it's time based, it's actually it's based on where the checkpoint is. So once we hit that checkpoint right there, you then lose it. Then we're going to do a Phoenix dive right down to the bottom. If you're good enough, you can hit the teleporter as you land, which I was out just by a little bit. Now notice we've had our super, we've had it for quite a while, and we've saved it for this bit so that we can effectively use our super to speed past this bit. Because we've got so much heavy, because of our weapon setup and whatnot, it's not required for us to save our super for the ads or anything like that. If you aren't confident, you could just run past the ads and not use your super. Especially with Dawnblade, Dawnblade will clear out all the ads at the boss. So when you get to the boss, you have an automatic spawn of ads before you can even do damage to the boss, of course. And that Dawnblade super, if you're good enough with it, will clear out all of it. Now we can make our way to the boss. I forgot to mention earlier, in terms of my mods that I had on, I had 1 Transcendent Blessing on and 1 Rivens Curse on. That was enough to one-phase this boss. Now we're going to stand around here, we're going to do 2 1k shots, 2 groups of ads. Then we're going to do a nade right here as the ads jump right into it. And once we've kind of done that, we're just going to clear up the remaining ads if there is. Once that's happened, pick up any ammo if you need it. Obviously I've got plenty, you only need 4 shots. It's also more reliable to jump up in the air while doing this rather than just standing to throw it. It takes 3 balls to take this guy's shield down. Once you've done your 2 shields, go to the middle platform since 1k won't reach from there. Now you want to do an Empower Rift first. Make sure you have your 1k ready as you throw in the ball. Then do 3 shots. The 3 shots won't kill the boss from there, but the boss will always teleport behind you. Then you can do your final shot. Like I said earlier, I believe 1 Sleeper Simulant can one-phase this boss also, which I have done it in the past. Even though it got nerfed, it still does good critical hit damage. That's effectively how you would farm the Corrupted solo. Like I said, you could do plenty of these on a Warlock within an hour. That's essentially the base of the run. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.